in several of my courses, students have asked how they can add a payment button to their websites so that clients or potential clients can actually pay for either a one-off service, a one-off product, or to pay for a recurring service. So in this video, I'm going to show you how to add buttons to your website for one of the main payment processors, namely PayPal. So let's get started straight away and move over to PayPal and see exactly what we need to do. So here we are on the PayPal website, which you will find at paypal.com, and you need to make sure that we're talking about PayPal for business, because you need a business account. They do personal accounts and business accounts. They're both free to use in their basic form, which is all you will need, unless you want some particular complicated e-commerce solution or something like that. But if all you want is to put a payment button on your website, either for a one-off payment from somebody for a particular item, or you want a repeat payment from them. So if you're offering a service business to them, such as my viral email marketing business or my social media marketing business, as per my two courses, then you'll need the business account from PayPal. So as long as you're on the business tab and it says here PayPal, the smart choice for business, you'll just click get started and actually sign up for your account there. Once you have your account with PayPal and that's all been verified, you then will need to log into your account. So I'm going to log into my account now and show you what we need to do next. So here I am inside my PayPal account. You may see a different screen. You may see the summary screen, but I'm on the Tools and Resources page, and this is where we need to be. So to find this, you just need to look at the menu across the top here and go to Tools and then click All Tools, and that then brings you into this page here. What you then need to do is go to Integrate PayPal there. And what I would suggest you do first of all is come over to the right hand side. The one we want to use is PayPal buttons. But if you actually click the heart here, so that it goes red, just like that, then when you actually come into Tools, All Tools in the first place, it will bring you to Favorites, and it always takes you in there, and PayPal buttons will now appear in your Favorites, which is where we want them to be. So let's go into now see how we create a PayPal button, and to do that we click on the button here to open. That brings you into this page here, which has any saved buttons. So if you've already created buttons in the past, then they will appear on this page. So if you needed to come in to amend them, or you wanted to duplicate them, or you wanted to change them, then you could do that here. But if you haven't got any buttons, there won't be anything here. But what we need to do is create a new button. So we look on the right hand side here and click Create New Button. And that brings us into here. So let's have a look at what we then need to do on this page to create our button. So firstly, you need to decide on the type of button that you want. And there is a drop down list here. There's usually, for most of our uses, there'll only be two of these that we'd want to use. One will be the Buy Now button. So this is if you're selling a one-off product or service. So for example, I offer what I call my outrageous offer, which is 3 months of social media to a business, and they buy that as a one-off item, and I then upsell them later to a monthly plan. But if I want to offer that to them, I would use a Buy Now button. It's a one-off purchase. It would be the same as if you were selling an ebook on a website, for example. You want somebody to make a one-off payment where they'll buy that from you. For that, you would use the Buy Now button. And if you click on any of these, you'll see we click on Buy Now, and the button here will appear. This is what the button would actually look like on your website. So that's the Buy Now button. The other one we would use would be subscriptions, and this is if you are selling a regular subscription to a person or to a business. So for example, if you're offering a monthly social media package or a monthly viral email marketing package, you could use a subscription button. So for this will be an amount that they will pay you every month, and you, as you'll see in a second, be able to decide on how much they should pay you every month for this. And for that they would just click the subscribe button and then sign up to pay you on a monthly basis. So let's have a look first of all at the buy now button. And the first thing we need to do here is give this an item name. So this is for your own reference, so you know what the person is purchasing, and secondly, they will see this when they actually get to checkout or when they get to PayPal to pay for this. It will show them the item name. So for example, this could be your arthritis ebook, or it could be whatever it is you're selling. So let's have a look. For me, it could be, if I was doing my social media outrageous offer, let me just put that in. So that is the item name. If you want to have an ID for that, you can use it, but I don't generally use that. You then want to put in here your price. You can have this in whatever currency you want, and if you are actually offering something to people from different countries, you can actually have multiple prices in there. So you could have one from one price in US dollars and one in British pounds, for example. So let me just say this is going to be something we're doing in US dollars. We'll say it's going to be 99 US dollars. So we've filled that in there. Then we have some ways to actually customize the button. The first one is if you wanted to add a drop down menu with some price options. So for example, you could do social media outrageous offer and have a 3-month option and a 6-month option, and you just click there and you can put that. So you could say option 1 would be, for example, 3 months. You could change the wording of there. So let me just do that as a quick example, but we won't. So for example, 3 months, $99. You could do a 6-month option there at some other price if you wanted to. And so that would then, as you see here on the button, it will let people choose from the drop down menu whichever it is they want when they're purchasing. But if all you want is the one-off option, you won't need that. Clicking. This adds a drop down menu without prices. So for example, they're still paying $99, but you could say this could be an outrageous offer, and they would need to choose whether they want this to be for Twitter, for Facebook, or for Instagram, or something like that. Again, if you wanted that there, you can have as many of these as you want. So if you wanted a 4th option, a 5th option, you could have those there and just add in whatever text you want into those boxes for your options. Let me get rid of that because I don't want it. And if you wanted to add a text field where you put some other text in there, you can use that. It's not something I generally would use. And then there's other options there to change text or appearance if you wanted to. Postage, if you're doing a service that you're offering, or it's an ebook or something like that, you wouldn't have postage, but it gives you an option here to put in a specific amount for postage, or it will use the settings that you've already set up in your initial profile with PayPal. Merchant account IDs, I would just leave that because you will set up an account ID with your PayPal account, so you can just leave that as it is. We then come down here and we then see step 2. I'll just click on that to show you what's in there. The only thing I use in step 2 is to click here to save the button at PayPal, because when we've created this button we want it to be saved so that we can actually change it, duplicate it, use it again, etc. And so we'll do that. But other than that, I don't need to track inventory. If you're selling a particular item that you have in stock and you want to say, well, I've only got 50 of these, and when those disappear you want those to be coming off your inventory and you want this to stop selling, you might want to track your inventory. But for our uses, generally if we're selling either a service or we're selling a digital product, then we won't need to track inventory, so we can leave everything else on step 2. Then let's click on step 3, Let's have a look at the different options here. Again, I don't change a lot of these. First one is, do you want to let your customer change order quantities? So if you want them to be able to order more than one of a particular item, you might want to say yes so that they can choose more of those, and it will then obviously charge them a higher rate. So if you're charging $50 for one and they then change this to say they want two, then obviously that would change their payment to $100. But generally I wouldn't use that, but it's there if you wanted to. And do you want your customer to be able to leave you a special instruction in a message? If so, yes. And what they will actually see as your instruction is here. So add special instructions to the seller. You might want to change that wording if you wanted to. Or alternatively, if you don't want them to leave any instructions, you just change that to no. Do you need your customer's postal address? If you're sending an item to them, you might say yes, but if it's a digital product you're selling or it's a service, you will probably want to tick no. Then the one that I actually do use on here is this one. Now there are two options. One is take your customers to a particular URL when they cancel their checkout. So if they were going through payment to you but they cancelled it, it would take them to a particular page. I don't use that. I have never had a need for it, but it's there if you wanted to. The one I do use is this. Take customers to this URL when they finish checkout. So if they've actually made a payment to you and it's gone through and the payment has gone through correctly, I would then create a page on my website which is a thank you page. So it will be a thank you for placing the order. I will be in touch within 48 hours. Or alternatively, you may want some more information from them, so you might want a form on that page on your website. So this would just be the URL of a page on your website that you will send them to after they have checked out. So if you wanted to add that in there, you will put it in there. If you're not bothered about that, you can just remove it. And that's all we need to do. That is all the information. All you then do is click on Create Button. PayPal will then create the button code for you for your website. So you're automatically brought to this page here, which gives you two options for the button. The first one is to add it to your website, and the second one is to send it by email. So if you just actually want to send this to a client so they can, or a potential client, so they can sign up without having to visit your website, you can click on here on the email link and it gives you this link. All you'd need to do is copy that and you can then email that to your potential client. If they click on this link, it will then send them to a page that has that button on it and they can actually pay you via that page. Alternatively, if you want to, as I would generally do, add a link to my website and add a button, so this button on your website, you click on website here and we will select code and then copy this code. So now we've got the code we need for either the website option or the email option. Let's move over to one of my websites and we'll see how we can actually now put this into the actual page itself on a website. So here I am within one of my WordPress websites, and people that have been studying my courses for a while will know that from my web design course, the one where it shows anyone, even a beginner, how to create a great website within 5 hours or less, I use a plugin called Thrive Architect to create all of my WordPress sites. Now that's the one I'm going to show you how to do this in here, but the actual idea and the steps you'd follow would just be the same in any sort of WordPress site or any sort of HTML site as well, really. You would effectively take the code that we were given by PayPal here, which, as I say, we're selecting the code and we're copying the code, and we're going to put that into the actual code of the website. So let me show you two different ways of doing this within Thrive Architect. The first one would be to actually use the button that PayPal have given us. And so what I'm going to do is come over here to my add element, and then I'm going to scroll down here until I find the one that says custom HTML, and I'm actually going to drag that to where I want it to appear. What I'm going to do here is insert custom HTML into the page, and all I'm going to do is actually paste the code that PayPal gave me. So let me come back to the page here. So that is just all of this code here. So all I've done is I've clicked select code, I've then right clicked with my mouse and copied it, and I've come back here and I've insert custom HTML into the page, and I then save it, and there it is in the page. I can obviously change the look of that if I want to move it to the center or anything like that. So what I'm going to do here is show you two different options. One is to use a button I've actually created myself, and one is to use the actual PayPal button here. So for adding the PayPal button, that is it. I've simply done that, and that has now saved that to my page. Now, of course, this is just a demonstration. As you know, we set this up for $99, so it's not the $47 that it's showing here. I'm just showing you how to add any button to any page. So let's have a look at the other option, and that is that you've got a different order button that you actually want to use, and not the standard one. So this could be an order button, or it could actually be a link as well. So if you just wanted this here to say click here to order or click here to buy, then you could do it that way. So what I'm going to do is I've actually clicked on here, which is the button itself, the new button that I've actually created. And what I'm going to do in here is look at animation and action, and that is to have a link. So if I go in there and amend the link, that lets me put in a hyperlink. If I come back again to PayPal, the other option we had was email. But what I can do is actually use that link and copy it, and instead of it being in an email, it's just going to be in a button that we've created ourselves. So my link here for this button is going to be that, which is that link we've just got from PayPal itself. So if I then come to that and apply it, and then save that work, that will actually save that into that page. And that's all there is to it. We've now actually added two payment buttons. You obviously wouldn't want both of these, but I'm showing you how to do both of them. So we've added one that is for our own design of button, or could be a link as well. In fact, let me do that for a link. Let me highlight the word reporting. I'm going to click up here and turn that into a link, and then insert it, and then again we will save the work. So that has saved that to the page as well. Now let me actually open up that page of the website, and we'll have a look and see how that looks, and see whether all these are actually working in the way we want them to be working. So here we are on that demo website, and so we've actually added that button in three different ways. One is the actual PayPal button itself, which is here, and as you can see, this would want just straightening up so it appears in the middle, but this is just our demo. So if anybody clicks this buy now button, let's just see what happens. We click on there, it opens up in PayPal for them to actually pay, and as you can see, it's got $99 US there. So they would actually pay us the correct figure. They'd log into PayPal, or they could click here to pay by debit or credit card, and they'd be able to pay us for what we are offering. Let me come back again to the page. The other option was our own button. If we click on there, it takes them into exactly the same page. There you go, that's that one there. And the other one was the link, and here is the link, and if they click on that link that says reporting, that again brings them in to there to pay us $99. So I hope you can see that is how we have added the potential to pay via a link, via a button we've created ourselves, or by the actual button from PayPal. And all we have done is gone through the process within PayPal to create our button and then use the coding, either the website code or the email code, to integrate that into our website. So that is all there is to creating a PayPal button and adding it to our website.